Deep down, you already know that your everyday plate is lacking something basic. While the rest of us chase pricey powders, keep track of every step, and still feel the weight of the years weighing heavily on our shoulders, people in the most remote parts of the world quietly reach 100 years and beyond, full of energy, clear-headed, and moving freely. They never entered a fitness center. They didn't keep track of macros. However, their bodies continue to heal, circulate, and recover in ways that seem almost unfair when compared decade after decade. What if expensive protocols or rare berries flown in from far-off jungles don't conceal the difference? What if it's in bags you wrote off as being too commonplace to be significant in cans piled on the bottom shelf or in the produce section you passed yesterday? The 5 common foods that the longest-living people consume on a daily basis will be revealed to you today. These foods can calm the silent fires that age you, quiet the repair pathways inside your cells, and restore the energy that most people lose by midlife. Trends like these don't disappear with the next big story. They are the reliable choices of men and women who, even in their 90s, are still caring for gardens, laughing with friends, and effortlessly recalling names and stories. Imagine being 80 years old and still feeling as light as you did at 50. Imagine climbing stairs without experiencing a sharp ache in your knees, carrying groceries without stopping, and thinking clearly all day long. It's not fantasy. In regions like Okinawa, Ikaria, Sardinia, and Nicoya, where reaching 100 is so commonplace that it is hardly discussed, it is an observable reality. Addition, not subtraction, is where the shift begins. You don't have to give up all of your favorite things. All you have to do is introduce 5 foods that subtly alter the way your body perceives time. Your cells contain age-old instructions for fixing damage, repairing it, and remaining resilient for a lot longer than most people realize. These guidelines have been suppressed by contemporary eating habits that are high in refined oils, stripped grains, and frequent sugar spikes. Like keys, these 5 foods open locks that have been rusted shut for years. Nothing was coerced, nothing drastic. Simply being there consistently allows your system to remember how to function as intended. If the thought of adding decades of strong, vibrant years appeals to you at this moment, please leave a yes in the comments section before we go over each one so I know you share my sentiments. Additionally, click subscribe and enable notifications if you're prepared to stop accepting decline as unavoidable. Through the experiences of those who truly live it, we continue to find workable solutions to preserve energy, circulation, and clarity. Now take a moment to notice how odd it is. We are still outlived by 20 or 30 years in good health in communities without upscale hospitals, personal trainers, or supplement stacks. They don't use complex regulations to combat their biology. They consume foods that their grandparents consumed, which the body recognizes right away and uses to repair tissues, maintain system balance, and reduce inflammation. With its constant tracking, rare ingredients, and monthly blood panels, modern messaging tries to convince you that longevity necessitates complexity. It's practical for product sales. The opposite is true for those who live the longest. When simplicity is done correctly, it triumphs. Your body is already capable of surviving past 100 years. There is repair equipment waiting in every cell. Processed food clogs the equipment. The jam is subtly cleared by these 5 foods. Something changes when you begin incorporating them into your daily routine. The mid-afternoon crash of energy remains constant. Joints move more smoothly. The improvement in circulation makes the skin appear more radiant. Decreased inflammation in sensitive brain tissue improves memory. It starts to feel like a younger person is waking up in your body. When I mention the first dish, you might almost chuckle because it is so unassuming. Beans, white beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, and black beans are common, affordable, and frequently dismissed as uninteresting or simple. However, beans are present every day, sometimes at every meal, in every blue zone region that was examined. In Okinawa, soy forms are preferred, Sardinian chickpeas, and fava beans. Black beans go with practically everything in Nicoya. Large white beans and lentils are staple foods in Ikaria. This isn't arbitrary. Throughout those zones, it is the most robust dietary pattern associated with an exceptionally long lifespan. Beans provide soluble fiber and resistant starch that nourish good bacteria in your gut. Short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which are produced by those bacteria, enter your bloodstream and reduce chronic inflammation everywhere. The silent cause of joint wear, artery stiffening, brain fog, and the majority of age-related decline is inflammation. Reduce the volume steadily to prevent your body from squandering energy on subpar firefighting. A balanced amino acid profile found in beans' plant protein helps maintain muscle mass over time. Unless something actively prevents it, most people lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass every 10 years after the age of 30. Weakness, falls, and dependence result from that loss. Because bean protein and regular exercise keep muscles strong, centenarians in those areas garden, hike hills, and carry weights into old age. Beans contain antioxidants and polyphenols that protect DNA. With every cell division, the protective telomeres on chromosomes get shorter until they reach a critical length that terminates life. Biological age lags behind chronological age because of compounds in beans that measurably slow that shortening. Because slow-digesting carbohydrates avoid insulin spikes, blood sugar remains stable. Internal aging is accelerated by metabolic wear, which stable glucose guards against. Beans maintain high insulin sensitivity, which helps to explain why diabetes is uncommon in those areas. What about the price? For pennies, you can get 10 substantial servings from a bag of dry beans. Compare that to fad powders that cost 20 times as much and promise the same anti-aging benefits. Being long should not be considered a luxury. It's accessible thanks to beans. Some people are concerned about gas. When fiber suddenly increases, that is normal. The bacteria in your stomach aren't accustomed to it yet. Increase gradually over weeks, starting with a quarter cup per day. Use a piece of kombu seaweed to soak and cook dry beans or thoroughly rinse canned beans. The discomfort passes quickly. Beans soon become as instinctive as breathing. Keep chickpeas, black beans, and pinto beans in your pantry. Rinse and mix into salads, mash on toast, blend into dips, and stir into rice. They'll be in 30 seconds. Cook dry beans in bulk on the weekends. They keep for a week in the refrigerator. Consume at least half a cup each day. Beans are not the focus of centenarians' planning. They simply incorporate them by default. Make a 30-day commitment to consuming that half cup every day. Witness a surge in energy, a smoother digestion, and a reduction in mental fog. Numbers on a scale never express how much your body appreciates you. Type beans below to let people know it's feasible if beans are already a part of your daily routine. Next is something that almost every long-lived population consumes on a daily basis, but is unfairly attacked by diet trends. Whole grains, whole wheat, barley, brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, and unrefined intact oats. Not sugary boxed cereals with a healthy label, not white bread. Actual grains in which the bran, germ, and endosperm remain united and function as a single unit. They are prominent in all blue zones. Okinawans eat sweet potatoes with brown rice. Ancient whole wheat is used to make sourdough, which Sardinians consume. Icarians like whole grain breads and barley. Brown rice, whole wheat pasta, and oats are the main ingredients in meals prepared by Adventist communities in California. No fear, large portions, several times a day. Whole grains provide zinc and selenium for repair, magnesium for hundreds of enzyme reactions, and B vitamins for brain and nerve function. Cell by cell, lignans and phenolic acids combat oxidative stress. Fiber content is notable. 12 grams are contained in 1 cup of cooked barley, 8 steel-cut oats, 4 brown rice grains. A few servings a day can easily add up to 30 to 40 grams, which is double or triple what most people consume. Diverse gut bacteria that produce vitamins, regulate immunity, create neurotransmitters, and defend against invaders are fed by that fiber. The rate of aging is literally controlled by a healthy microbiome. Longer, healthier life with a healthier gut. Slow glucose release maintains insulin sensitivity, pancreatic balance, and low risk of diabetes. Research indicates that eating 3 servings of whole grains per day reduces type 2 risk by 30%. Heart protection is enormous. Reduce cardiovascular risk by 20 to 30%, improve blood pressure, reduce arterial inflammation, lower LDL, and have a healthier vessel lining. The longest living people eat grains every day and are remarkably free of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline despite low-carb narratives that claim they cause inflammation. Whole grains were never the problem. Its refined versions are stripped bare and then packed in highly processed packages with industrial oils and sugar. Whole grains are consistent with how people have survived for thousands of years. Begin your morning meal with traditional oats garnished with nuts, berries, and honey. Add barley, quinoa, or brown rice to your lunch or dinner, along with protein and veggies. Select genuine whole grain products. Look for whole wheat flour on labels rather than enriched wheat. Every week, prepare grains in bulk. They reheat beautifully. For 30 days, eat them 2 or 3 times a day. No more afternoon crashes as the energy level stabilizes. Digestion gets better. As inflammation decreases, skin becomes clearer. Constant fuel sharpens the mind. If you plan to include whole grains this week, please comment grain. The third is something you know is delicious but most likely undereat. Dark leafy greens such as mustard greens, bok choy, collards, arugula, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. A pale iceberg? No. Chlorophyll-rich, deep green leaves that are high in nutrients. Every blue zone consumes a lot of them every day. Okinawans use bitter greens and sweet potato leaves. The wild varieties that Sardinians collect are sautéed in olive oil. Icarians incorporate wild greens into salads, soups, and pies. Nicoyans cultivate garden greens and squash leaves. 2 to 3 cups at a meal are typical. These greens are the best per calorie. Over 1,000% of daily vitamin K, 200% vitamin A, 90% vitamin C, calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, and folate are all found in 1 cup of cooked kale. These nutrients are all found in a natural matrix with thousands of supporting compounds. Nitrates change into nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels, reduces blood pressure, and increases blood flow to the heart, brain, and other parts of the body. Arteries remain flexible rather than rigid. When glucosinolates are chewed, they transform into sulforaphane and isothiocyanates, which activate the liver's detox pathways and NRF2 to produce hours of internal antioxidants. Stun helps the brain. Consuming leafy greens every day significantly slows cognitive decline. 1 serving per day is associated with brains that are 11 years younger, superior to any medication for memory loss, dementia, or Alzheimer's. Fiber provides anti-cancer short-chain fats, folate helps repair DNA, vitamin K controls cell division, carotenoids protect, chlorophyll binds carcinogens, and isothiocyanates activate tumor suppressor genes. You can eat a lot without feeling guilty. Water, fiber, and low calories fill you up long before excess. After weeks of consistent eating, taste issues subside, the palate adjusts, and cravings start. Toss handfuls of spinach into eggs or smoothies in the morning. Make large salads with beans, nuts, and olive oil and lemon, dressing the centerpiece of your lunch. At dinner, sauté chard or kale with lemon, oil, and garlic. Keep fresh bunches, frozen spinach, and pre-washed mixes in the refrigerator. For the nutrient range, switch up the types. For 30 days, eat 2 large servings every day. Higher energy stabilizes. Skin is radiant. The process of digestion proceeds. The mind becomes more acute. The blood pressure drops. The groundwork is laid for continued sharp thinking into old age. If this one resonates with you, type greens. 4th, dispels contemporary carbohydrate anxiety while promoting longevity across cultural boundaries. Sweet potatoes and starchy tubers, such as cassava, taro, yams, baked sweet potatoes, and boiled sweet potatoes, complete and unprocessed. For centuries, sweet potatoes accounted for 60–70% of Okinawans' traditional diet. They remained active, heart-healthy, lean, and free of diabetes after the age of 100. Potatoes are the food of the Andean highlands. Papua New Guinea on taro and sweet potatoes. African cultures on yams and cassava. The pattern is repeated all over the world. They improve insulin sensitivity by forming resistant starch that feeds gut bacteria after cooking and cooling. For hours, glucose remains constant due to a gradual release of energy. High potassium supports blood pressure and balances sodium. Colorful forms of beta-carotene and anthocyanins prevent oxidation, lower inflammation, protect the eyes, and increase skin elasticity. Fibers support colon health, regular transit, and toxin clearance. When consumed as nature intended, whole food carbohydrates do not contribute to obesity or illness. Context is important. Water, fiber, and nutrients transform everything. Despite eating a lot of carbohydrates, Okinawans lead the world in living without disabilities. In population data, contemporary low-carb animal-heavy patterns frequently indicate higher heart, kidney, and digestive problems. Steam or bake skin on sweet potatoes. For more resilient starch, let it cool a little. Basic seasoning: salt, pepper, and olive oil. Reheat throughout the week after batch roasting a dozen Sundays. For 30 days, 1 serving per day. Energy is even more durable. Glycogen makes workouts stronger, improves mood by supporting serotonin. The gut changes. If you're bringing them back, comment potato. The 5th is liquid gold for the heart, brain, and circulation. Extra virgin olive oil. Really premium, freshly harvested, cold first-pressed olive oil. Not inexpensive mixes. Not your typical olive oil. 4 to 6 tablespoons a day are consumed in Sardinia and Icaria, sometimes sipped straight and other times drizzled over bread, salads, and vegetables. Oleocanthal and other polyphenols have anti-inflammatory properties. Oleuropein and hydroxytyrosol protect neurons and the heart. Regular use reduces the risk of heart disease by 40%, stroke by 30%, diabetes by 20%, and some types of cancer by a significant amount. Polyphenols reduce amyloid, promote the growth of new neurons, cross the blood-brain barrier, and maintain memory and cognition. Clotting balances, pressure drops, and vessels remain flexible. Taste test: Real Evo has peppery bite in the throat from oleocanthal. Buy dark bottles, recent harvest date, reputable origin. Use generously raw mostly, but cooking stable enough. 3 to 4 tablespoons daily for 30 days. Skin brightens, joints ease, brain clears, energy steadies. These 5 work together. Beans build gut and muscle, grains stabilize fuel and microbiome, greens flood micronutrients and nitric oxide, tubers supply steady carbs and antioxidants, olive oil lubricates everything with anti-inflammatory power. No exotic imports. Just real food eaten consistently. Knowledge alone changes nothing. Action repeated daily does. Commit now. 30 days without skipping. Half-cup beans daily. 2 to 3 whole grain servings. 2 big leafy green portions. 1 starchy tuber serving. 3-4 tablespoons olive oil. Shop today. Start tomorrow morning. Oats with berries and olive oil drizzle. Big salad with beans and sweet potato at lunch. Greens sautéed with rice and beans at dinner. Watch energy hold, skin improve, digestion smooth, mind sharpen. If this stirred something in you, smash like so more people find it. Subscribe for more grounded ways to protect vitality longer. Share with 3 people you care about. Parents on meds, friends battling pressure, siblings tired and foggy. Comment which food you're starting with tomorrow and what health goal you're chasing. Your future self is watching. Make choices worth being proud of. Fill your kitchen. Begin. 30 days can shift 30 years. See you in the next one. Keep eating real. Keep living long.